As the highly anticipated fight between Erislandy Lara and Danny Garcia took place, the boxing community shared their reactions.
First of all, I want to thank God. I want to thank Al Heyman. I want to thank Prime, my team, Garcia, all my fans around the world. I'm sorry. I came off a 2-year layoff. I stepped up a weight class. I tried to be great. It wasn't my night. No excuses.
776 days off is an awful long time in boxing, and then to try to accomplish this, was it just not able to find the rhythm or find the old Danny?
Well, probably so. I didn't think the layoff would affect me, but this is only my second fight in like 4 years, so there's no excuses. I guess I couldn't catch my rhythm. I haven't been active. Maybe that was the reason, or maybe he was just better than me tonight.
In the fight before that, Danny Garcia kind of going down in his own right. A lot of fans very disappointed. I heard the Q word in the crowd about 10 or 12 times to quit. People thought that Danny Garcia just kind of gave up. What was your assessment of what happened with Danny?
Paycheck. He looked like he was here to get a paycheck, and he looked like something might be wrong with him, and the way that his father moved to stop the fight at the end suggested maybe his father saw something in training that made him aware that Danny was not going to be competitive against Erislandy Lara. So I'm impressed with Lara, but he wasn't in against a real opponent tonight.
I feel good. I did my job. Fighting 12 rounds is hard work, especially against a tough fighter like Danny Garcia. He's a great champion in the lower divisions, like I said before. But now, I did what I had to do, and I feel great.
Danny Swift Garcia entered the squared circle with the intention of becoming a 3-division world champion. In an interview with Boxing Social, Garcia was asked what beating Erislandy Lara would have meant to him, and he reacted by saying, "It would mean the world to me. This is my dream right here. Everyone don't achieve their dreams. I already did it 2 times in 2 weight classes, and the third time is the charm." Danny Garcia's ambition on September 14th under the bright lights was to overcome Lara and become a 3-time world champion. Garcia wanted to win and set out to accomplish so in a novel way. "I would love to be the first person to stop Lara. I've been the first person to stop a lot of fighters, and to me, if I could stop him and just for sure guarantee that championship, that'll be the icing on the cake." On the other end, following his training session, the heavy-handed Cuban Lara paid tribute to Garcia, but revealed his targeted method of victory. Danny Garcia is a great fighter, a multiple division world champion, and like me, he's one of the best fighters of this generation. This is going to be the fight of the night. I knocked out my last 3 opponents, and I'm training to make it 4. He further added, "This is going to be a tough fight, I know that. But every fight at the championship level is tough and has its challenges. I'm preparing hard for Danny, and I believe that my experience fighting at this weight will be an advantage." Speaking on his preparation for the upcoming clash before the fight, Lara said, "I'm very happy with the work I've been putting in during this training camp." He added, "We've had a lot of time to work on fighting Danny Garcia, and we're prepared for what he brings. He's a very powerful puncher with both hands, so I've had to tighten up and make a few adjustments on my defense. My focus is why I can keep performing at this level again and again. I'm going to be in tremendous shape like I always am, and I'll be ready for anything he does in the ring." Before the battle, Danny Garcia's father, Angel Garcia, had willed himself to be in his son's corner once more, teaching him exactly as he had promised years before. He believed that it may be Danny's opportunity to become a champion. "For me, it will probably be the last time I get to see Danny become a world champion," Angel Garcia said. "In my mind, I hope I get to live another 15 years, but life isn't promised. You can't say you're going to live tomorrow because tomorrow isn't promised." Angel Garcia tirelessly crusaded to ensure that Danny received the respect he deserved in boxing, often coming across as brash and insensitive to fellow boxers, trainers, or promoters. "God gave me the gift of training. Why did God save my voice? His recovery from throat cancer. Because I'm Danny's voice. He's so humble and quiet. I needed to be that person for him. Coming to what Boxing Pros had to say before the fight, Haven Brady believed the bout would be a split 50-50. He emphasized that it was up to the boxers to put on a showdown on fight night. Brady thought that both competitors may make a comeback throughout the fight.
Man. You see he threw you the oop just now, so I want him to answer, man. I want to know what he thinks.
Right. I think it's 50-50. It just depends on which one show up. I feel like it's a layoff, so it all depends. It's a comeback fight for both of them. So I can't wait to see how it's gonna end.
Leonard Alerby, who had been with Premier Boxing Champions, PBC, from its beginning, thought that if Danny Garcia defeated then-current WBA middleweight championship holder Erislandy Lara, he would have earned a spot in the Boxing Hall of Fame. He said, if Danny can pull it off, I think he goes into the Hall of Fame. He would join elite company. He further added, it's going to be a great fight. Lara's style now, he sits down more on his punches, he doesn't move a lot. It will be a very good, fan-friendly fight. Chris Algieri believed it would be a tremendous fight and couldn't wait to see how the two boxers matched up. He noted that, while speed is great, timing is frequently more important, and that Lara is a strong defensive fighter. Algieri was curious how Danny Garcia would handle Lara's defensive talents in the ring.
Very interesting fight. We got two guys that we did the tail of the tape. It's hard not to look at that 41 years of age for Erislandy Lara, but also similar in height, and obviously Danny's coming up from 140 once upon a time. Erislandy Lara was a 54-pounder. He's moved up to 60 now. One thing that was not on there with Erislandy Lara is really long arms, big long reach, and Danny doesn't. So I'm curious to see how that's going to play. He's going to have to close that distance, even though the height's not that different. Lara is a very defensive guy, southpaw, very, very long arms. But again, timing beats speed, timing beats length. So I'm going to be curious to see how these guys match up.
Robert Garcia, who has worked with several champions, told ES News that he would prefer Floyd Mayweather above a few existing world champions, including the winner of the forthcoming middleweight title battle between Erislandy Lara and Danny Garcia. He stated, whatever you say, whatever anybody wants to think, Mayweather could, because he's still active, he's still in shape, he could fight a real fight. Garcia further said, not real fighters like Virgil or Jaron Boots Ennis, but Mayweather could still beat many champions. Maybe at welterweight he could beat most of the champions right now. He'll probably beat Imantas Stanionis, Mario Barrios, and Brian Norman Jr. Mayweather can't fight a solid guy at 154, 160. He could probably fight the winner of Danny Garcia and Erislandy Lara. He could fight them, and he could become champion. I think he could actually beat one of those. Kyrone Davis anticipated a fascinating fight, believing that we had two outstanding boxers. One a talented stick fighter, Lara, and the other a skilled counterpuncher, Danny. He stated that the battle was unexpected and may perhaps be a 50-50 matchup.
Wins that fight? Yeah. I think it's a really good competitive fight. We have to see how much Danny has left, see how much Lara has left. I think it's a good crossroads fight. I think it's a fight that could have been happening, but it's good that it's happening now. I think it's an interesting fight. You got the stick boxer, who's also a puncher. You got Danny Garcia, who's a great counter puncher. Always finds a way to stay close in the fight, no matter what. So I think it's a good fight. I don't really have a winner in that fight. I go back and forth about who I think is going to win. I wouldn't bet on that fight. It's just too unpredictable.
Bob Santos, a well-known boxing personality, has played an important part in guiding Erislandy Lara's professional career. Santos has been on Lara's side since his early days, guiding the Cuban-American professional boxer to success in a variety of weight classes. Santos remarked on the 41-year-old Olympic gold medalist's future as Lara prepared to defend his WBA middleweight title against Danny Garcia. Despite his age, Lara remained unconcerned about those who questioned his ability to play at the highest level. Santos said, "Lara's another guy that everybody says is too old, but he keeps producing, keeps winning," Santos said. When Santos considered Lara's bout with Brian Castano, "I thought we won that fight. We got a draw, but it is what it is, and we moved on to bigger and better things." Lara handled his career with the mindset of one fight at a time. Santos believed that, despite its risk, this method identified exceptionally excellent athletes. Bob added, "He still wants to compete. What makes these guys great and different from most of us is the ability to always think they can do it, to always believe they can get off the deck, to always think they can take on a challenge that most of us would shy away from. That mindset is what makes them great." He further added, "I just talked to him the other day and I'll be meeting with him tonight. He just loves it. He's done it his whole life, and that's all he knows." Trainer Greg Hackett noted that Lara's left hand was performing particularly well. He noticed that Lara understood just when to shoot it and how to set it up, as well as how to get opponents to respond in a way that would allow him to use his left hand. Hackett speculated that if Danny Garcia could escape being in the line of fire when Lara launched the punch, not by merely fleeing, but by not being in the local vicinity, he may be in a better position. However, Hackett cautioned Garcia that if he did not counter well or attack the body, he may face serious consequences.
From what I've been seeing from Lara, that left hand, he on fire with that left hand. He know when to fire it. He know how to set it up. I mean, he know how to get you to react, to open up for the left hand. That's what I see. If Danny can get away from that left hand, not get away as in run, but when he fire that motherfucker, don't be right there. But he got to be able to counter. If Danny not countering, if Danny not going to the body, there's going to be some trouble with him.
Johnny Ortiz, another well-known boxing personality, shared his opinion on the fight. Ortiz, a longtime fan of both boxers, made no secret of his support for Danny Garcia. He stated, "Great fight, man. Danny's my guy. I'm leaning towards Danny because I feel like Danny got a little bit more left, than Lara, a little younger. I think Danny got more." Ortiz's devotion to Garcia was palpable, but it was apparent that his forecast was not solely emotional. He thought Garcia had more left in the tank, being younger and more durable than Lara at this point in their careers. Ortiz's opinion was not contemptuous of Lara, however. He recognized the Cuban's skill and expertise, emphasizing how Lara's approach had evolved as he matured. He stated, "What makes Lara dangerous at this stage is Lara's going to sit on his punches more because he ain't moving as much." For Ortiz, this introduced a new danger to Lara's arsenal. Lara's punches became more powerful when he stopped depending on mobility, and Garcia had to be careful not to take too many clean strikes. Despite the risk Lara posed, Ortiz was confident in Garcia's ability to face the challenge, particularly his chin. Garcia is known for his ability to absorb punishment, and his durability may allow him to resist Lara's powerful blows. Ortiz's statement represented his opinion that while Lara would land some big punches, Garcia's tenacity would keep him in the fight. He stated, "But I think Danny got the chin." Rob Acosta, a well-known boxing personality, shared his thoughts on Danny Garcia's winning strategies. He emphasized the need of Garcia being aggressive in the ring, adding, "Keys to victory for Danny Garcia? Keys to victory, I would say he got to be, a little bit more active, move around, give Lara different angles." Acosta realized that Garcia's success would be highly dependent on his ability to disturb Lara's rhythm. Lara had previously confounded opponents with his fast counterpunching. Thus, Garcia's mobility and angles would be critical in stopping Lara from settling into his comfort zone. Acosta went on to praise Garcia's record versus left-handed opponents. He stated, "One thing about Danny is good at fighting southpaws. This was a critical moment since Garcia had demonstrated in prior battles that he could manage the specific problems presented by lefties." Acosta saw this as a benefit for Garcia, particularly against a seasoned southpaw like Lara. However, Acosta recognized Lara's expertise and the threat he represented, particularly his ability to control the tempo of a bout. He highlighted that Garcia should see Lara's body frequently, especially considering Lara's age. Garcia's attack on Lara's belly might tire him down and limit his movement. He stated, "For me, I feel like Danny got to touch Lara's body. Lara's an older man. Lara's a counterpuncher. Danny got to start early, he got to start fast." Sean Porter stated that even though Erislandy Lara was 41, he felt it would be a nightmare for Danny Garcia. He praised Lara's remarkable timing and mentioned that in many of Lara's previous battles, he had depended significantly on it. Porter observed that when Lara's timing was wrong, he occasionally stumbled. He thought the battle was a 50-50 draw, owing to Lara's age and the fact that he no longer used his feet as much as he used to. Porter said that he was unsure of the outcome and did not know who would win.
Erislandy is 41. I still think this is going to be a nightmare for Danny Garcia. You're right, he does have that timing. And I think that, if anything, like a lot of his fights that I've seen in the past, he's always relied on that timing. When the timing wasn't there, we've seen him drop the ball a couple of times. I don't know, man. I think this is 50-50 only because Lara's 41 now and he hasn't used his feet as much as he used to in the past. But this is 50-50 and I don't know who's going to win it.
So, what were your reactions to this fight? Who were you supporting to win? Do let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.